same for us. Sometimes you have done the same for us. By us, I mean the Power Hour. That's right, every Monday through Friday, 6 a.m. to 7 a.m., bringing you the show that should come with continuing education units. Telling you, you're going to get smarter just listening. I mean, just think about this week, just all of the amazing guests who've been on air. So many people, I can't even remember them all. Been a great week. Glad that my co-host has had a chance to get some rest. Hope he gets a little bit more rest. Bishop Dwayne David Royster, resting his chops, those vocal cords. Can't do this every single day. Sometimes you got to get a break. Waiting for him to get back so we can do like back in wrestling days, tap out. He can jump in the ring, then I can get some rest, because that's how we got to do it. Glad to be here this morning. See that our Facebook Live is up. Facebook Live is in the place. See what's going on with YouTube, if YouTube is up and running just yet. I know 900 AM is up. I know 96.1 FM is up. I know WURD.com is up. I know the person who listens with a tin can and a string has got it up and running this morning. Yep, we're happy to guide this conversation today. Sitting in her own studio, making sure that all of the tech works behind the scenes, is none other than the queen herself, Kawesa. What's good, Kawesa? It's Feel Good Friday. How you feeling?
I'm pretty good. I'm here. Good morning.
You're pretty good. So, Kawesa, we text in the morning about the show and all the little things, and I'm certain at some point I will understand how she knew this, because I just don't yet, because I'm new to it. But she's like, oh my God, you got an iPhone. Like, yes, busted.
Welcome to the club.
How did you know I had an iPhone? Just because of a text? Help me understand that.
So iPhones have iMessages, and so normally when I text you and Bishop, it comes up green. That's how I know it's an Android phone or a non-iPhone. And so today, this morning, when I texted you, it was blue, and I was like, ah, shucks.
My God, you're worse than my family. I have been the lone holdout, as you all on this show know very well, and refusing to turn my Androids in for an iPhone. My family has been just trying to encourage me to go this way. I just didn't want to do it. But I got to admit, the Apple CarPlay is more stable than Android AutoPlay. And so on my bike and in the car, the glitchiness, because that's what I kind of really depend on the phone for these days. So I turned it in. So yesterday, Kawesa, you will love this. I look down and it's a FaceTime message coming in. And I pop it open, and there's Leslie, my wife,
Oh.
and all four of my children, their one spouse and significant other, and they're all on FaceTime, like the Brady Bunch or something, the black version of the Brady Bunch. And I'm like, kind of madness is this? I'm looking at everybody, and it's like a welcome to iPhone party for me, impromptu surprise.
I love FaceTime.
I'm like, are you serious? And so, literally, so Quase, I say, oh, we should do this all the time. And they all, almost in unison, not even rehearsed, we already do. Somebody said, I like the fact that it's not because you can actually see us, but it's because you needed it for your motorcycle that you switched to iPhone. Hey, I got priorities. I got my priorities in order, right?
Yep, yep, sure do.
Oh my Lord. Yes, I'm there. I'm sorry. My Android family. I go as I mean literally, I'm not a happy camper. Already I'm upset because I can't schedule my text messages.
Oh
I
yeah.
love scheduling text messages. I can hit it, and then I schedule it for whatever day I want to send it, and I can go to sleep and forget. Can't do that with an Apple. And there's no back button. Where is the back button? So Deborah Robinson, if they ever fix Android autoplay, I'll be back. I'm a hostage in Apple world. Pray for me, saints. Kawesa, how was the traffic and weather? Did you run across any tornadoes?
There was one point yesterday evening when we thought it was about to get real. It got really windy. We, closed all the umbrellas that we have, open in the backyard. And really, at least my part of Jersey didn't it was almost as if nothing had ever happened. And then when I came out this morning, it was very still. It was very quiet. Like I didn't hear birds chirping. I didn't see any wind. A little humid, but not too bad. I don't think the weather's going to be too bad today. I think it's going up to low 80s or something like that. But yeah, it really wasn't that bad. As far as traffic wasn't so bad, but this morning I almost got into an accident. Well, not me. I wouldn't have caused it. The light turned green on my end. I was going to make a left. I don't do any of that, illegal stuff that folks be doing out here, turning left on reds and stuff. So I turned, and the person who was going straight in the other lane blew the red light and
What?
almost slammed it. Yep. And I was just like, and before I say this, I want to preference this by saying that God knows my heart. I was singing a gospel song. I'm not even kidding. And as soon as he cut me off, I was like, what the bleep? I'm sorry, God. But you know my heart. But yeah, it was a little scary. It was a little scary. And there was somebody behind me too, so we both had to slam on our brakes. I'm just glad.
Oh wow.
But I'm here.
That
I made it,
it's amazing how you can go quickly from praise him, praise him to hey,
Yeah. It was
and then
yeah.
slip right back into it.
I felt so bad. I was like, I'm sorry, God. I'm sorry.
Oh my goodness. Well, I think God will forgive you under those circumstances, Kwesa. I think all is forgiven. I can't, speak for God, but I just have to believe that, if God can get past some of the other things in the world, he can, or she can, or it can. I don't know.
Yeah.
However you identify God can get over your slip up this morning.
I
Oh
hope
my
so.
goodness.
Yeah. It was rough.
Oh boy, what a morning. See, Quayson, I was just having the time this morning, folks. I tell you, it's Feel Good Friday. And yeah, if you live in Ben Salem, you've got to feel good if you woke up this morning. I mean, we have been talking about climate change, and I don't know. You all post in the chat and tell me if you remember a tornado like what happened in Ben Salem. It destroyed a car dealership. I-95 afterwards, I mean, looked like the set of a Hollywood movie after a car chase scene. Cars were thrown around. Um, and I'm telling you, look, just about oh my goodness, maybe 2 weeks ago, Leslie and I were on one side of 309, left, and were supposed to go back and couldn't even get back because a storm rolled through right on the border of Philly and Montgomery County. Some of you may remember that storm, and within 5 or 10 minutes, just changed the landscape, ripped down trees and power lines. People were without power for days, but it only happened there. It wasn't widespread, but it felt, and well, it looked like a tornado hit. And we talked to the people who went through it. That's what they said it looked like and felt like to them. I mean, I think we're going to have to start taking the weather warnings seriously. And when you hear tornado warning, tornado watch in the area, that you probably should behave accordingly. Find a basement, find some place in the home. I mean, most of us, if you're in Philly and you grew up out here, you probably don't even know what to do. So ask a friend from Ohio or Kansas or Texas or anywhere within Tornado Alley. You know, it comes up out of Texas, makes a sharp right turn, and then just barrels through. It used to kind of end in Ohio, maybe a little bit into western Pennsylvania. But the fact that we are seeing this kind of weather suggests that we need to take what's happening to the climate um, in a way that's a little bit more serious than what I've seen people kind of express. They kind of sound like, you know, what you said happened to you, Kwesa, this morning in traffic. That's kind of how folks sound when you talk about climate change. Bleep, 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 the climate. Okay. Just took out a Ben Salem car dealership. Man, a tornado in Ben Salem. Thank God everybody is okay. A tornado in Ben Salem. I went to the dark side, or some of the people are saying I sold out. Man, I'm going to sell out now, you all, because I got an iPhone. And Russell Westbrook going to the Lakers. Some traumatic weather yesterday. I mean, blowing everything around. Russell Westbrook to the Lakers? Boy, good luck. You know, talking about athletes and mental, quote unquote, mental toughness. Try playing alongside LeBron, bro, and not stepping up when he needs you in a game 7. Go ask JR about that one. Man, JR is probably still a little shell shot from LeBron going off on him in Oakland when they lost to the Warriors that first time. Or maybe the second time. I don't know. How many times did the Warriors beat LeBron in the Cavs? About 3 times? Something like that. Yeah. Good luck, bro. That's all I'm saying. I'll save that story until Bishop gets back, because I know he really wants to talk about sports in that story. He's going to come back and somebody's going to, like, you know, drop a dime. You know he's only talking sports, right? All right, folks, we're going to talk to Katia Woods in just a few moments after the break about COVID-19. Well, you know, entertainment, the entertainment world post-COVID. We've been kind of having these conversations, but one of the things that people have been wanting to do is to get back into theaters, get back into, you know, Broadway shows. Leslie's working with the Kimmel Center they're about to reopen. Hamilton's coming back. I can't wait. Did you hear that? I can't wait for Broadway shows to come back. I just need to know if I'm going to have to wear my mask when I go see Hamilton. What are some of the other things that are coming from Broadway? All kind of stuff. So I need to know. So we're talking about that, and also movies that we need to think about and to look for as well. And I want you to hit the share button on Facebook Live. Nikki O'Tim said, I'm headed to the movies today. Oh, wow. Headed to the movies. How you feeling about that, Nikki O'Tim? Throw it in the chat. Apprehensive? Is this your first time? Nikki O'Tim is going to see Summer of Soul. Because that name is so, yeah. It's Nikki O'Tim. I'll make sure I get the right pronoun. Nikki O'Tim is stepping out to go see Summer of Soul. Have you been to the movies? Are you still afraid to go? And yes, Leslie, I love musicals. Just like I love iPhones. I'm so happy that I now have an iPhone. Yes. an iPhone, watching Hamilton in person, that would just make my day. I'd rather do that than ride a motorcycle or watch the NBA Finals. All right, on that note, we're going to take a break because I don't want lightning to strike over here. We got to take a break, and when we come back, be joined by Katia Woods, our entertainment specialist. This is the Power Hour. Don't go anywhere. 620.
Be there this Friday at the Summer Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour as Tiffany Bacon broadcasts live from the J.L. Wright Community Center, 3320 Haverford Avenue, from 10 a.m. till noon, and stand with WURD Radio to amplify voices of the Black community as a digital forward member for as low as $5 per month and receive a free gift for signing up. That's this Friday at the J.L. Wright Community Center, 3320 Haverford Avenue, or visit WURDradio.com. Start or renew your forward membership today. Stage Door, focusing on arts and culture in and around Philadelphia. Hosted by Tiffany Bacon and co-moderated by Jeffrey Page of the Philadelphia Theater Company. Part of The Source, Fridays at noon, exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on WURDradio.com, the WURD Radio app, or watch live on WURD TV via Facebook and YouTube. Sponsored by New Voices sponsor Comcast, NBC Universal, and Pico.
Students, parents, teachers, guardians, 100 Black Men of Philadelphia is offering free mentoring programs this summer to help provide an alternative to the gun violence plaguing our city. Our programs build character, body, and mind of our boys 1st to 12th grade through paid high school internships, book clubs, fishing, physical fitness, and more. Register today at www.100blackmenphilly.org and click events or call 267-258-2900.
Need to replace your Social Security card? In most states, you can request one online with a My Social Security account. A My Social Security account gives you secure access to your personal earnings history and benefit status. You can also get a proof of income letter, estimate and apply for benefits, and more. Save time. Go online. Open a My Social Security account at ssa.gov/myaccount. Social Security. Securing today and tomorrow.
Produced at U.S. taxpayer expense.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Independent Black Media.
Welcome back to the Power Hour. Oh boy, it's Feel Good Friday, folks. And I don't know about you, but I feel kind of good. Yeah. Life is not perfect, but life is good. And it could be better if our unmasked and unvaccinated friends would just do better. I mean, look, if you, everybody knows, if you're unvaccinated, rock the mask and stay socially distant. You see a lot of us without masks because we've been vaccinated, and so, you know, much less of a risk. But this thing only works when you rock the mask or you get the vaccine. You can't like say, I'm not going to get the vaccine and then not rock the mask and then get all up in each other's face, because the Delta variant is no joke. It is highly contagious. And now even Republican governors all around the country are joining in with Joe Biden saying, please, for God's sake, stop politicizing COVID-19 and just do what's right for the rest of us. You know, like they said, hey, I love America. I'll take a bullet for America. Well, take a little shot for America. That's all. Isn't it funny? The same people who say, hey, women, I'm going to tell you what to do with your body. They're the same people who say, don't tell me what to do with my body, putting on a mask or taking a vaccine. This is my body. Boy, y'all got it twisted. Enough of that. We'll talk about some good news today. The world is opening back up. You know I love movies. It's what I do on off days if I'm not riding. So it's kind of like made my world upside down, losing my movie days, but it seems that things are coming back to normal. And I want to talk to somebody who knows a lot about movies. Katia Woods. She is she's not just like a movie critic, but she's like, she could talk to you about anything. The Grammys, she's a Grammy voter, and all of those things. We get the real lowdown in just a moment. But is Katia on yet?
Yes.
Oh, wonderful. Thank you. I couldn't see it here because unlike my Android where I can like have a split screen, I now have an iPhone where can only see one screen at a time. So I apologize.
Oh, no. Shops on iPhones this morning, early in the morning, Mark?
Yes, Katia, it's done, and I couldn't see it all. Welcome back to the show. How are you doing?
I can't complain. I'm good. I'm good.
Katia is the creator of Cup of Souls show. And you know what, Katia, I thought I knew everything about you professionally, but I just learned something new. You're one of the reviewers and critics for Rotten Tomatoes.
Yes. Yes.
All right.
Yes.
Okay.
I've been on there for a couple months, and I also started contributing to the Tribune.
Oh, man. All right. So now, all right, you know now. I'm going to have to follow that part of you as well, because what do I do before I go see anything? I look at Rotten Tomatoes, and I have to kind of reconcile what the critics say with what my fellow moviegoers say, and then kind of make a decision. And Leslie's always like, how did you find this good movie? I never heard of it. I'm like, Rotten Tomatoes tells you everything. So, all right, I noticed that you have critiqued a movie that one of our listeners is going to go see today, Summer of Soul. What's it about?
Oh, wow. That's a real good one. It's about the Harlem Music Festival that happened around the same time as Woodstock. Ton of this amazing footage, Mavis Staple, Nina Simone, David Ruffin, Sly and the Family Stone. They did both festivals. And this footage wasn't released. But what's really beautiful, obviously, the music, but seeing the people. And the crazy part is, like, as far as socially, we're in the throes of the Vietnam War. We still are talking about the same thing, police versus community. But the part that I want people to focus on behind the music is how beautiful black people were looking, afros out, leather vests, families coming together, making their fried chicken, selling their goods, and everybody was with it. There was, like, no issue. And also it was gospel music, and the list goes on and on. It's I call it a love letter to black people, to black culture.
Wow. So Leslie said she's posted, I didn't know this, that it was produced by Questlove?
Questlove not only produced, he directed it.
What?
Yeah. This is his first time directing and won awards at Sundance. And, yes, absolutely. If you can see it in the theater as well as Hulu, if you have Hulu. I'm not telling you to get Hulu if you don't have it. So you can go see it in the theater if you're comfortable with that.
So whoa. Stevie Wonder was playing the drums, you said? Is that?
Yes. This is before, like Stevie turned the corner in the 70s and got more, social and everything, and more personal with his music. But he's playing the drums. Like I said, it's Mahalia Jackson. Is like passing the torch to Mavis Staples because she wasn't feeling her best. So she had Mavis kind of like sing some parts that she was supposed to sing. Listen, you can't go wrong with the Staples singers.
No, you absolutely cannot. Well, all right, let me ask you about another movie that is, when I looked at Rotten Tomatoes, it seemed universal. There was very little light between reviewers and between the fans. I'm always amazed, however, when there's a lot of distance between the reviewers and the fans, where one is like, it's trash, and the other is like, oh, it was actually pretty good. You saw Space Jam 2. We were just talking about the Lakers, LeBron. Did he make a mistake in trying to touch an iconic piece of Black American movie going?
No. because it's not a sequel. It's a whole different movie. The only thing that this movie has in common with the original are the Looney Tunes. It's a different movie, and it actually has a nice message. Like, I look at movies like that different than other people because I know it's not made for you and me. If we like it, cool. It's made for the little people in your house. It's made for the younger people. People who have children of different ages, like middle school, grammar school, maybe preschool. It's hard to find a film that you can take all your kids to without, you know, being worried about that somebody's getting exposed to something. And this is one of those films. People have to remember that families still go to the movies, and not everything can be deep and things like that. Kids don't care about cinematography. They don't care about who directed it. They just want to have a good time. The only thing that I said in my review was that if you have smaller children, the movie's over 2 hours. It's hard sometimes to get your little ones to sit in the movie for 2 hours. But everybody else is going to have a good time. Like I said, it has a nice message.
Wow. So what are the other films that are out there that people right now, I mean, obviously those two are getting a lot of, you know, coverage out there, but are there other things, especially for our audience, WURD, that they might be thinking like, oh, I didn't know about that. I'm going to check it out.
Well, Jungle Cruise opens up today. That's The Rock and Emily Blunt. That is based on the Disney ride. For anybody, yes, it is based on the Disney ride. We get another movie based on a ride. And this is another family film. Like, there's nothing going on in there that you're going to be like, oh, my goodness, you know, my kid's learning some stuff I wasn't ready for. So that is also, again, the option. If you're not comfortable going to the theater, you can purchase the movie via Disney Plus. You know, it's a couple more dollars, but you can have the movie come to your living room. The other one would be The Green Knight, but The Green Knight is more, like I say, if you're a movie lover, you love like Arthur and the knights and quests and things like that. Dev Patel's really good in it. Then that's your cup of tea. Like, if you don't want to go see the blow 'em up stuff, then that's your alternative. You know, we're getting a lot of content this summer because remember we had a year worth of sitting on it, and, you know, Hollywood wants to get a return on its receipt. But the other movie that's coming up, everybody should get props for, is Aretha, coming out in 2 weeks. J. Hodge plays the iconic Aretha Franklin. And it's not, it doesn't cover her entire life. The beginning to Amazing Grace, when she made Amazing Grace. Because we all thought about it, we're like, man, are you going to put like 5 decades, 6 decades of artistry into a 2-hour movie? But she does her thing.
So have you had a chance to screen it yet?
Yes, and she does her thing. Because it's like, it's so hard, you know what I mean? Like, she's not going to sing like her. She's not going to look like her. But what she does do is for people who were introduced to Aretha, like, you know, 80s, 90s Aretha, gives them a feel of early Aretha and what brought her to prominence and her struggles, you know what I mean? Because she was an imperfect woman like most humans are. And, you know, I think also it's inspiration for a lot of artists who are like, hey, I have this many views, I have this, why am I not popping? Well, Aretha Franklin, it took a minute for her to get, as they say, popping. And hopefully this will let people know, you know, you stay on course and you stay true to yourself, you will ultimately make it.
Well, without going into details, because you want people to see the movie, everybody does, but do they go into the complicated relationship with her and her father?
Oh, yeah. Oh,
okay.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's not cute autobiography. You know, sometimes you're like, ooh, they went cute, they went nice. I mean, it's not like, you know, shock value, but, you know, you gotta tell the truth, you know.
Wow. Yeah, that's so I'm just thinking about the Amazing Grace, the film that came out a couple of years ago with all the old footage of, first of all, that was one of my favorite albums back in the day, Aretha Franklin's live production. So if you're saying that the film takes you up to that recording, that sounds like a great pairing to go check out the movie and then come home and then watch Amazing Grace, like on some kind of streaming service or something.
Well, 100%. Because again, we're a little bit older, so for us, these are fresh memories. But you got a whole generation out there, like if you were to sit down, probably our kids' age, they're like, what? Who? So this is, again, a great way to breach that conversation and say, okay, this is where X, Y, and Z singer got their inspiration from. This is where it started, you know?
Yeah. So our kids are great. I love when they're like riding in the car and they're listening to like one of our old school stations. I'm listening to Rock the Bells, or even older, like the soul station. They're like, oh, they took that song from Justin Bieber. I'm like, I'm sorry.
I know, right?
No, not really. No. Justin's parents weren't alive when that song came out.
Yeah, sometimes God bless them, though, for thinking that they started stuff.
Yeah, yeah. So all right, here's the big question. This is where I really want to talk to you. You've been back to the movies. People, I know we've been preaching about social distancing and all of that. Is it safe to go back? And what are the precautions that the industry is taking to ensure that we can do this in a responsible way?
Well, two things, right? I always tell people, my prayers have been answered as far as movies. As a professional person who sees movies for a living, is we finally have press screenings that are press screenings. It's just like 95% of the movies that I've seen in terms of like for work has just been us, the press. So we have huge theaters and we can sit and go about our business. I've also been to the movies as a regular person. And it's been pretty good. You know what I mean? There is not, you can choose to sit away from people. And my thing is like, if you don't want to go earlier, as they say, go with the old folks, right? Or go like a Monday or Tuesday. But, people who are vaccinated, we're praying that, you are in there if you're in there without a mask, that's the reason. But people, it's whatever your comfort level is. Of course, when you're eating, you're not going to have a mask on. But for the most part, I think the biggest issue still is, I hate to be that girl, is some movie theaters are cleaner than others. Because a lot of movie theaters, because of the pandemic, and you probably talked about this, pay rate, all of that, are not fully staffed. So you're relying on 16-year-old kids to clean. So find a theater that you feel comfortable with. If you don't want to be around a lot of people, go earlier or go during an off time. If you want to wear a mask because you don't trust other people, do what makes you feel comfortable. And it's also okay. I tell people that all the time. If you're not ready yet, or there's nothing near you, you don't feel like getting in the car for 2 hours to go see a movie, and you can have that experience at home, that's perfectly fine. We're still figuring this thing out. It ain't for me, you, anybody else to say you are wrong because you're not ready to go back. You know what I mean? And movie studios know this because everything is coming out. Even F9 is ready to come out on demand. So if you didn't see it in the theater, you can see it in the comfort of your home.
Oh, I can't wait for that. I mean, with the exception of a couple of those movies in the Furious Five, kind of like family. Mm-hmm. I'm telling you, they can just keep making those movies. I don't know why, but the formula works for me. The former villain always becomes their friend.
You and my husband. I'd be like, oh, that's your type of. I said they're planning on making a 10, and it's going to be a lot. They did say they're going to stop with 10. We'll see, because it probably make a lot of money. But allegedly, the last one is going to be 2 parts: part 1 and then part 2. And that's
yeah. Well, Kathy, we'll believe that when we see it.
Well, that franchise makes way too much money. But I don't know. I guess when Vin Diesel is in a walker, then I guess they'll stop.
No, they'll put mag wheels on it and a super fast engine. It'll be F-31.
It's a lot, but it is. Also, I would tell people support Black Star Film Festival is coming up, and that's a festival that highlights people that look like you and me. you know, a lot of people in our community, again, if you are comfortable going out, support that. They're doing a lot of stuff at demand. And also, again, if you don't want to be out in public, they're giving you the opportunity to do it online as well. So you can see some great work by Black filmmakers and support that festival, you know, like we support all of the bigger ones, you know what I mean? So definitely, if you enjoy film.
Well, listen, folks, you can follow Katia Wood's Cup of Soul show. And now you can also check out her reviews on Rotten Tomatoes. I can now say I got a friend who is on the other side of Rotten Tomatoes. I got a lot of friends who are the critics without a job, just a bunch of fans like me weighing in, but you are a professional. Thank you for coming in, Katia, and we'll get you back as we get closer into some of the award seasons as well, all right?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for having me. Have a blessed day, everyone.
All right, take care. Hey, folks, it's 6:41 in the morning. We'll be back in just a moment. It's Feel Good Friday, and we're almost in the last segment. Don't go anywhere.
Tune in this Saturday from 5 to 6 p.m. for the Islam Today show with a perspective on moral guidance and Islamic principles and values.
Save the date. Thursday, August 26th for WURD Radio's annual Founders Day celebration, honoring the life of our founder, Walter P. Lomax Jr., MD. This year, we'll be both in person and virtual. Stay tuned to WURD Radio and WURDradio.com for more information. That's Thursday, August 26th for our annual Founders Day celebration. Exclusively on WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD. Streaming live on WURDradio.com, the WURD Radio app, or watch live on WURD TV via Facebook and YouTube. Now, a traffic update on WURD Radio.
This report sponsored by America's Best Contacts and Eyeglasses. Volume getting heavy southbound I-95 from Cottman down through Bridge. And Betsy Ross through Girard. Northbound looking good still this Friday morning. Westbound Vine, 8th out the Broad, Slogan Parkway through the Schuylkill Expressway. Schuylkill westbound, Broad to Passyunk, heavy there for ongoing construction. Eastbound, no major problems there as of yet. Southbound Boulevard of Route 1, some light volume from Broad to Wissahickon through that construction. In Cherry Hill, 70E both ways near area of 295, an accident there being worked on. 42, 55, no issues there yet. Don't overpay for glasses. Get 2 pairs and a free exam for just $69.95. The exam alone is worth $50. That's not just a better deal, it's America's Best. Book your exam online today. In certain states, eye exams are provided by independent ophthalmologists. See store for details. For more traffic information, log on to sigalert.com. Jim Bachman with your Philadelphia area traffic.
Now, a WURD weather update. Here's NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
Sunny skies and decreasing humidity during the day today as the winds pick up out of the northwest, gusting to 25 miles an hour. 84 the high this afternoon. A beautiful day Saturday. Low humidity from start to finish. 59 the low, 80 in the afternoon with bright sunny skies. Partly sunny on Sunday up to 83 with a chance of a few showers. I'm NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Bill Henley.
You're listening to WURD Radio, 96.1 FM and 900 AM WURD, independent black media.
That's right, folks. Welcome back to the Power Hour. And listen, so Bernita raises a good point on Facebook. Bernita says, I wish they would bring back more drive-ins. And for the young people out there, that's drive-in movie theater. That drive-in. Not the other one where you like drive through the little drive-through package store. No, drive-in movie theater. And you're right. I mean, you know, it's funny, actually, I've been surprised during COVID-19 that I just kind of assumed that that was one industry that was going to come surging back, but it didn't. They were talking about it last summer, you remember? And a lot of places were like, oh, yeah, they're about to reopen drive-ins. It was kind of like low-hanging fruit. Get to stay in your car. But I think people were the owners were afraid of even the liability of people getting out of their cars and, I don't know, using the restrooms or facilities that they might be able to, like, pass it on or something. But I am shocked that that did not happen. Because if there was ever a time for drive-in movie theaters to come back, last year would have been the time. Yeah, I don't know. And thanks for this. On YouTube, Catfish Hillbilly says, Fast and Furious. I said the Furious 5. Yeah, but you all know what I meant. Fast and Furious 65, the nursing home edition. Trust me, Catfish Hillbilly and all of you, screenshot that comment and archive it somewhere and revisit that in about 25 years, and you're going to see that it's real. Trust me, they're going to be in those little beds that have wheels on the bottom. That's supposed to makes it easier to push you from one room to the other. And Vin Diesel and Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson are going to be racing each other in them. And Jason Statham, he's going to be in there. Because we should have talked to this about this with Katia, because it is absolutely unfair that guys can keep making action movies until they're like in their 80s, like Sean Connery. And for women at like 29, it's a wrap. Man, Hollywood is deep. So it'll be those three guys in their like 60s and 70s and 80s, and some 20-year-old young woman who'll be the love interest, because that always happens. They'll be riding around on their little Walmart scooter that's souped up. And trust me, she'll be 20-something. And for some reason, can only find love with this 80-year-old man in a nursing home. Oh, my God. See what happens when you all leave me in here a week by myself. By the end of the week, I'm just loopy. Y'all better pray Bishop Royster gets back soon, because at this rate, we're never going to change the damn world. Sorry. Yeah, it will be like, what was the Sylvester Stallone movie, Lola Khan, The Expendables? Should have been called like The Depends. A bunch of aging former superstars from the 70s and 80s getting together in the mid 2000s. Very, very believable. All right, I'm completely off track at this point. I don't even know how we can even bring this back. It's just almost just a wrap. Special broadcast today. We were talking about Summer of Love, Summer of Soul, rather. Check this one out. Today, WURD is bringing you Summer of Freedom Neighborhood Love Tour. Today from 10 a.m. to 12 noon. You just heard the weather report. They said the humidity is going down. It's going to be nice. Some light little wind gusts. It's going to be at the J.L. Wright Recreation Center, 3384 Haverford Ave, today. And Tiffany Bacon's going to be there. Is that right, Kuwesa?
Sure is right.
Tiffany Bacon is awesome. You know anything about radio in Philly, you know that name. And so she's going to be this. Check that out today, the Summer of Freedom. Yeah, we're trying to get back to normal, folks, so we need some help. We need some help. What was shady, Rob? Who threw some shade? Certainly not me. All right, so one of the big stories this week, as we come toward the end of another week of programming, but there was some significant movement in City Hall. We have talked about this, but I'd love to get your thoughts in the comment sections. And I'm going to do something really crazy in this last 4 minutes. Going to open up the phone line for one call on this subject alone. You've heard us pontificate to no end about what the city should do with money for gun violence prevention. They've now allocated millions of dollars that they have agreed with community activists and organizers that will go into the hands of the people. Just want your ideas. I'm going to share these ideas with the powers that be, if asked. And you know me, I'm going to tell them even if they don't ask me. But throw it in the chat. And again, and if you want to call in, one lucky person will have about a minute to tell us what they should do with all that money, how they should distribute it to local groups. 215-634-8065, 215-634-8065, or 866-361-0900. Do not squander your precious time, if you're that lucky caller, on telling me that we never let you on. That'll probably end the call short, in short fashion. Really want some specific ideas about how the city should use that money, because at the rate we're going, unless there's some kind of serious intervention, y'all hear me? We're on pace for 600 murders. Now, I know it's Feel Good Friday, try to keep it light today, but that's a thing. And the city is about to do something that's very, very different. They're actually listening to the people. Lola Khan says, Maurice, where are you? That's what Lola Khan said. So we got some great listeners here. And for some reason, I can't pull up Facebook now. I know you're on there. Trying to get to your comments. So let me see what YouTube is saying. Catfish Hillbilly says, money for mental health crisis rapid response teams. Yep. Great, great, great. I like it. All right, let's go to Cliff on the line. This is great, from Connecticut. Good morning.
Thank you for my call. I don't mean to take the thunder from the other callers, but I'll be brief. And listen, you have groups that are doing work already, and I'll just mention a few in particular. You got Brother Solomon and his program, that's been very active and effective. Also, the 100 Black Brothers, or 100 Black Men Together, that's a powerful group. And, so what I want to do is, if you can, you just got your president for the NAACP, correct? You just got a new president?
That is correct, yes.
Right. So typically speaking, they have always been the one that the government and pretty much agencies has been going to in terms of funding for the Black community. But they've been out of action, missing in action, for a while. So what's their agenda? Would you be able to speak with the new president to find out what their agenda is?
Yes, we know Kathy Hicks very well, and so we absolutely can. And I think that your inclination is right, that some of the funds will probably go to some of the older, established kind of organizations like the NAACP, should they apply. Again, you have to apply for this money, and there's a short window to do it. And there's a short window because people are being murdered, so we got to hurry up and do this with some intensity. But there are also going to be, Cliff, a lot of smaller organizations that people may not have heard of that will be getting this money as well, especially in Philly, where a lot of this violence is concentrated in particular neighborhoods. You may need the money this year, but you might not need it ever again.
Well, the point I'm saying is that the people that are doing the work should be at the table.
Yeah.
And they're the ones that certainly should be at the table, opposed to those who have the reputation and the history of being a civil rights organization, but have not been active. That's the whole point I'm making.
Man, Cliff, thank you for calling in from Connecticut, one of our neighbors to the north. Hold it down, my friend. Have a great weekend. Asa Khalif says, giving money directly to the people who are really doing the work. Finally, the city got it right. I agree. You know what? I beat them over the head all the time. I applaud this move by Mayor Jim Kenney and by the members of City Council. And Jamie Gautier, I mean, listen, you've been out there calling for, declaration of state of emergency. Again, I don't think that a declaration is going to change a whole lot, but this will. And so congratulations to you and people like Councilmember Kenyatta Johnson and others who have been tireless advocates to stop the violence, and even the chair of the Public Safety Committee on Councilmember Curtis Jones, and all of you all. Now let's get this part right. I raised the question because you know what? The people know best. And the people who live closest to the pain, you know what I would do? And this is the final note for this week. I would sit down with, a listening tour of the victims of people who have been killed in the last year. And I would ask them, how best should we spend this money so that no one else has to sit where you're sitting right now? I got to believe they've got some thoughtful answers. That's all we have for this week, folks. Thanks for joining us on the Power Hour. Thank you to Kuwaisa. Thank you to all of our amazing guests, all the listeners. Bishop Royster, continue to get some good rest, my friend, my brother, and we're going to continue to do our part to go out and do, as you always say, change the damn world. Have a great weekend, folks. Be safe. Peace.